Hello and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat. Today we're going to talk about Vivianne Miedema, why she's leaving Arsenal and where she's going to go next. So let's start with why. Harry, why is Miedema leaving Arsenal?
Well, I mean, it's not my choice, is it? It does feel very much like she is being forced out by the club, which is a very weird scenario for, the record scorer and one of your best players. But yeah, I bet it's a disappointing way for her to leave Arsenal in such a, I don't know, messy and rude manner.
Yeah, it feels a very abrupt way to say goodbye to a club legend. She didn't get much of a proper send-off, and it looks like she's just going to depart the club at the end of her contract. That's more what you do for a backup fullback who's not played for 8 years. No, yeah, that's not what you do for a player who is the all-time top goal scorer, I believe, in the WSL, who has been a crucial part of this Arsenal side for the best part of, a while now, and it feels very much like they're disrespecting a club legend in this sense because of personal conflicts. We know Miedema and Eidevall haven't always seen eye to eye, but it does just feel a bit muggy.
Yeah, 100%.
By all accounts, she doesn't want to leave.
Exactly.
So in that regard, she is being forced out of the door, and that does feel weird. I know they've got Alessia Russo and Stina Blackstenius, but it still feels weird to get rid of Vivianne Miedema.
I mean, yeah, she's an absolutely exceptional striker, but also, as you say about the send-offs, look at the way how Steph Houghton and Emma Hayes are leaving Chelsea and City. Incredible send-off.
Look at Frank Kirby. That's how you respect a club legend.
Miedema is getting shoved out the door, waved goodbye, gets a care package, and tell her
she's going out the emergency exit. She's not even going out the front door.
They're sneaking her out.
Yeah.
But it's really poor from Arsenal. I mean, there's not many players like Miedema, and to kind of just kick her to the curb in the way that they are is very disappointing to see her treated that way.
The thing is, I don't think it's an awful decision to let her leave, but it's the manner in which they're doing it for me. I think they're very much in that regard disrespecting somebody who has been incredibly crucial to Arsenal's success. And well, I know they haven't had loads of it, but they have still won trophies in recent seasons. So it does feel weird in that regard. I get it from a squad building standpoint because ultimately she wasn't going to start, and a player of her quality will want to start. I do think I also think her performance level has dropped. And that's probably because, obviously, the injury, that's going to have an impact. She was out for a large part of last season. That's a part of why they signed Alessia Russo. But that she also, once you come back from injury, eventually you've got to get back to some consistent game time to try and find form again. She's not had any consistent game time. This season, she's either been on the bench or out of position, and that's not going to help. So for me, she has to move to a club where she is going to be a star player and where she is going to be a crucial part of that team. So let's look at examples, and let's look at teams where she could go. The first and the most highly linked is Manchester City, of course, Arsenal's rivals in the WSL. I think probably one of the only WSL sides that could sign Miedema, in the sense that for most, Chelsea wouldn't really want her. I don't see United making a move. I don't see Tottenham making a move, and some of the lower sides wouldn't be able to afford her. So City probably represents the most realistic option, I would say, but there are huge downfalls there. Firstly, she is going to start for the first few months with Khadija Shaw out injured. We're not sure when she's going to come back, but once Shaw does come back, Miedema is then rotation. And if she's leaving Arsenal because she's playing as a rotation option, why would she join City to do the same?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those where it'd be perfect for Man City because what a gap fill.
That's a hell of a backup.
Yeah, exactly, but For Miedema, this wouldn't work for her. This is not what she wants. She doesn't want to start for a few months, then play second fiddle. Because, I mean, undoubtedly she would be the rotating striker. You don't bench Khadija Shaw. That's a criminal offence. Because if not, she's on her way to Kings Meadow. But, it wouldn't work for her. City would be a nice option, but she's just not going to start. And it's as simple as that. And yes, she would win things, which she's not really become too accustomed to at Arsenal. But there's a higher chance that she could claim a trophy next season with Man City, but I don't think it's really going to be a good fit for her.
Yeah, probably not. They play with the one striker as well, and we know she suits two striker formations much better. She likes playing alongside someone. Obviously, there is the upside that City are very good and they do win trophies. Just to talk hypothetically or theoretically for a moment, is there any chance City change their shape next season to accommodate for two forwards?
I'd be very surprised because you look at the way they've played this year, they've been absolutely phenomenal, and it's that old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
But it could be broken if they lose all their players to Barcelona and PSG.
Then it could be, and at that point, maybe you do change it. Well, I guess that's the thing.
If they lose Hemp and Kelly, that's something to consider.
They might choose to switch it up a bit, but we'll see what happens there. So it's a potential option, but unless City are going to say to her, we will change for you, we will adapt to your liking, then I don't think it's the right fit for me.
I don't think it's the right fit. Is it the best, though? Potentially. You know, if she is going to be honest, well, it's about her priorities. If she wants to play for again this season, she can find a team that's going to do that. She might have to lower her wage demands a little bit, but she can find a team that's going to do that. If she wants to keep winning trophies at the highest level, I think Man City probably represents a very good option. The other very good option for winning trophies at the highest level is, of course, FC Barcelona, who don't have a striker. They are losing Mariona Caldente on a free this season, which is a big decision from Barcelona. They've got a few players whose contracts are expiring the year after, in about 18 months' time, 12 months' time now, isn't it? We're already at the end of the season. So Barcelona are very much looking for players at the moment. They haven't had an out-and-out striker all year. Samuel Paralluelo's played that role and done excellently. But with Caldente leaving, Paralluelo will likely go back out onto the left flank. So could we see Vivianne Miedema fit that system?
I mean, yeah, but it feels like it's a match made in heaven, doesn't it? You've got a team that need a striker, they need a world-class striker, and you've got a forward who needs a world-class team, and they fit hand in hand. For Miedema, I mean, you're joining the best team as well. We don't need to say, the pedigree and the success that Barcelona have. We don't need to go there. They are the best team in the world. We know exactly what she would get from Barcelona.
Yeah.
And for Barcelona, it's a great fit. You've got a proven goal scorer. I mean, let's be honest, the WSL is a better quality league than the Liga Femenine, so she would probably go in there and absolutely walk it in the same style that Barcelona have done for years on years.
Yeah.
And I think she'd notch up incredible goal numbers. She'd be brilliant in the UWCL, would be a great fit. But there is that caveat, she would be up there by herself. Or would she? Because she's got Paralluelo and Caroline Graham-Hansen backing her up.
I was going to say, she could definitely. I think that could work in a one-striker formation. Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, I think there will be concerns for Barcelona that she's not at that elite level anymore, because we've not seen any evidence that she is at that elite level since her injury. So I think there will be concerns. And for a club like Barcelona, who anything other than perfection is not enough, I think that will be a grave concern. Additionally, I'm not sure she's the best fit tactically. Now, I think it would be quite useful to have a bit of height in the air, but you look at how Barcelona play, and it's very possession-based, very fluid movement, very technical, very tidy football.
Yeah.
Miedema's not that kind of player. She's not the elegant, agile passer. She's a brutish, big number 9. She's going to get her head on things. She's going to score goals, get in the box and score goals, but she's not dropping in to make football happen. I know she's played attack midfield a bit for Arsenal this season. We've seen how clunky that is as a fit. For me, Miedema doesn't represent exactly what Barcelona would want in a striker. There's a reason Paralluelo works in that role. It's because she's got the technical ability. I think if Barcelona were looking for a striker that's going to start, I think they'd be much better pressed looking at someone like Romy Leukter, for example.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that, she's very, very good in the air, but I know Bronze might put a ball in or something, but I look at Graham Hansen, I look at Paralluelo, they're the type of wingers who are going to cut inside and they're going to have a go at goal. They're going to take people on and go for goal themselves, rather than take it to the byline and loop it into your massive number 9. But it's not a great fit in that aspect, but if Barcelona want a proven goal scorer, and if Miedema wants to find a club where she's going to win trophies and she's going to start, it works there.
To be fair, you could also look at it the other way and say they don't cross the ball in because they don't have a big striker. So who are they aiming for with that ball into the box? Rolfo and Bronze are great crossers. We've seen it on their, in their past catalogue. They don't do it at the moment because they don't really have anyone in there. My other thing would be, if they're going to go and sign a world-class striker who is reaching the twilight of their career, I'm not sure. I know Miedema is 28 now. So she's still got a good few years left. But if they're looking for someone in that type of mould, Ada Hegerberg, who I believe is available on a free this summer, would represent arguably a better fit. So I think Miedema, I think is a pipe dream, really, to go to Barcelona. I think it could work, but ultimately, even if they did sign Miedema, they might still sign another striker.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a perfect fit either. Let's talk about an option then that I think is a little more rogue, one that's not been mentioned as much, Liverpool. Now, you might think this is a little bit weird. They're 4th in the league at the moment. It's a step down in a sense for Miedema, but I think that suits her. Firstly, they play with 2 strikers. So they play 3-5-2 And we know, obviously, well, we'd expect it to be Roman Haug. And then if you couple her, partner up with Miedema, that does sound like a very effective front line.
Incredible.
Indeed. And Haug has struggled to adapt to the Premier League. Alongside Miedema, that might just work, though. Haug might be able to finally find some form. So for Liverpool, you might be able to get the best out of Haug and bring in, arguably, a striker who is well above Liverpool's level. That drags them up. Liverpool were only 8 points, I think, off Arsenal in the end. Maybe even less than that. And with Champions League being the top 3 positions, but next season we get Europa League brought in as that number 4, I think there's definitely a chance Liverpool get Europe, and Miedema would definitely help with that. Now, the one thing I think goes against her is that Liverpool don't have a lot of money. So Miedema would either have to accept a pay drop, or Liverpool would have to completely ruin their wage structure to bring her in.
Yeah.
Now, would Liverpool do that, given how sensible they've been about making transfers? Probably not. You look at the type of players that Liverpool are being linked with right now, and there's that, I forget her name, so forgive me, but there's a Canadian talent playing at Sporting CP, Smith, who I think they're looking at right now about the £200,000 mark. Now, that's a big fee to pay, but it's quite clear Liverpool are looking towards the future of players like that. We saw the same with Marie-Therese Hobinger, who came in this summer. I thought that was a really good signing, and she's done really well there. So I'm not sure it fits exactly what Liverpool are doing at the moment, how they're bringing in quite young players, but it does fit how they're coupling them with more experienced players like Roman Haug. So it would be a huge statement signing. If Liverpool are serious and mean business next season, I think Miedema's the best signing they can make.
I mean, yeah, it would be absolutely massive. The problem is, also, you've got to entice her to come, and for her to take a step down and a pay cut, that's a very... I mean, for Liverpool, you're already starting on the back foot in terms of trying to convince her to come. But who knows? If they did pull it off, it'd be absolutely incredible. But the problem is, if Miedema got a better offer from any other club, she's going to take that with both arms over Liverpool. But who knows? Maybe Liverpool can promise her something, or, the prospect of their future could be enough to entice her to join. But
well, I think the promise of game time, consistent, regular starting minutes in the WSL would be very strong. It's still a side who should be competing for Europe next season. It's a side who have big aspirations. It's a manager in Matt Beard who is very well respected and renowned in the WSL. For me, it's a really nice fit. Now, whether or not it's going to happen is another matter, and I think it'll be quite difficult a transfer for Liverpool to pull off. But they do get that over the line. If Miedema does believe in that project and go for it, and perhaps accept a little bit of a pay decrease, I think that would put Liverpool in a really strong position. I'd argue they'd be stronger than United. And that's another one we've not spoken about. Is United an option for Miedema, or is that just never going to happen?
I don't see it happening. I don't know why you'd want to go there. She hasn't worked well with Eidevall. If she doesn't work well with Eidevall, God, you're not working well with Skinner. It's... United are very hit and miss. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I mean, the other thing is, does she want to change of scenery? It depends. Does she want to stay in the WSL, stay in England, or does she want a change of scenery? Who knows? But
I think there will be a pull towards staying in the WSL just because of obviously her relationship with Beth Mead.
That's the other thing to think about, isn't it? What does it mean for Beth Mead's future than Arsenal? Because she's going to see the way they've treated her partner, and if Miedema is enticed to go overseas, then does that put Beth Mead's future at Arsenal in a little bit of jeopardy? Yeah,
it's something we don't have in the men's game. It's the difficult... It adds an extra layer to dynamics where you have such strong relationships. And obviously, in the men's game, there's friendships, but there's not really many no openly gay footballers. There's no openly gay relationships. So it's something we've not really seen in the men's game. But it is something difficult to navigate, because now how do you balance how Mead reacts to that? How, it can become very difficult. I think Mead's a professional, though, and she'll understand the decision from the club to let Miedema go. But there will, understandably, or you expect there would be some animosity there and a little bit of frostiness. So I think that will be interesting to see how that's dealt with. Just talking on United, maybe not the best fit, or maybe not the club Miedema wants to go to, but perfect signing for United, I would say.
Oh, 100%. Exactly.
That solves their issues.
For Liverpool and United, it's what you call the ceiling-raising signing. It drags the quality of your team up significantly.
Yeah.
But it's whether Miedema would go, and I'm not fully convinced she would be enticed by the Skinner project.
Yeah, probably not. We speak about that quite a bit, the ceiling raising. Obviously, clubs like Manchester United and Liverpool that are just outside those top places, they want to challenge with City and Chelsea. You've got two options. Either you improve the floor of the squad, so you take those players at the bottom and you sign better players there, so you've got nice depth. It depends what you need, at what stage you are at building, or you sign those ceiling raisers. You go out and get players who are going to be really strong and great signings, and then those players that weren't starters, they become your floor players. Now, they're the options, depends how much money you got and stuff like that. But with Liverpool set to invest, I think Miedema makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And for Miedema, why would you go and play 6 months and then sit back up for Man City? For City, it's a good signing, but you do block Fowler for a certain... Yeah. To a certain extent. I think Fowler will be expecting to start in that role in the absence of Khadija Shaw, and she has done well.
Exactly. She's proven she can step up into that role, and I think she'll build on next season. So for City, it would be a weird one, and for Barcelona, as you've spoken about, maybe Miedema isn't the quality of striker they're looking for when there's a Hegerberg
or the perfect, stylistic fit. I think there's also so much unknown with Barcelona. They don't have a manager right now. Now, people don't go join clubs without managers, so that's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, I think we've covered a lot in this video. Again, I'm sure you guys in the comments will have your thoughts. Vivianne Miedema fans, Arsenal fans alike, get involved in the comments. Do you think it was right for Miedema to go? And where do you think she's going to end up next? I'm sure there's going to be loads of different suggestions, so get involved in the comments down below. If you have enjoyed today's video, then make sure to go and check out our video from last week. That'll be on screen now. That's everything from us today. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.